Hey guys, Richard Scouten from Green Mountain Horsemanship again. Beautiful morning out here in North Carolina. I got little Ruger out here with me again. And I'm introducing him, well, he's been introduced to a rope around the front leg, but I'm teaching him just to kind of pack this rope around. And then when I ask, I'd like him to slow down or stop, turn, and face me. And the way I'm going to ask is when that left front, the foot closest to me, the front foot closest to me, the inside front comes up off the ground, that's when I'm going to start to apply a little bit of fill, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a signal to start slowing down. So I'll time my pulls and releases with that front foot coming off the ground. And then he comes in. Send him back off again. Let him pack that rope. Before I start asking a horse to, before I start communicating with a horse through, say, a rope around a foot or a flank rope or a girth rope or anything like that, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure they can just pack that rope around. So whether it's around the flank or the girth or their neck or wherever, foot, front or back, I'm going to have them pack that rope around. Can they just kind of maintain gait, maintain direction with this rope just kind of flopping. And then once they're pretty good at that, then I can get ready and ask them to come down to a stop and face me. Only after they're used to packing it around for a little bit. When I'm working with the horse with a flank rope, doing transitions with the horse with a flank rope, a girth rope, or a rope around their foot or anywhere else, I want the communication to be happening through the rope. So I want him, not from body language, but from this rope coming up like that, I want him to come in from the rope talking to him, basically, and not from my body talking to him. Attaboy. The one thing I do is I do this on each foot, the front feet and the back feet. And in a second here, hopefully, I'll get a clip of me under saddle doing some rope work under saddle on that front foot. So as that foot comes off the ground, I take it away, and he doesn't freak out. He doesn't do anything except come into me. He yields from the pressure on the foot, and he comes into me. He doesn't freak out. He comes in, seeks me for guidance and reassurance. I tell him he's doing the right thing, because he is doing the right thing. So that's a little something I do to take leading by the foot a little bit more. I refine it a little bit more. So here I'm just getting him used to me swinging a rope from his back. He hasn't had me do this to him before or with him before. So I'm just taking a swing or two, rubbing it on him, taking a swing or two, rubbing it on him, getting him used to this rope hitting his feet. Okay, it's all stuff I kind of bend him around when it gets bothered. My inside reins a little bit shorter than my outside reins, so I can bend him. If the ship hits the fan and you got a 50, 60 foot rope in your hands, drop the rope, take care of your horse, grab your reins, work on rein management. Don't try to keep the rope together, just throw it away as far as you can. So we're just working on him, getting used to this rope kind of being swung on him. Making sure the dip of my rope hits the ground, kicks up dirt. I make sure my rope hits the round pen poles. Makes a little bit of a different noise for him. Okay, constantly got him in a bend. Working that inside, just like that. Okay. Swinging it, picking that dirt up. Alright, that's not bad at all. So I my swing over his left side, work that left side while I'm going to the right. Bring it back over here to the right side, and then the back over to the left. Get him used to that rope from all angles. In front of him, behind him, under him, everywhere. And then once they can tolerate that, handle that pretty good. There's a little bit, he jumped a little bit there. This little guy, noise gets him. So the sound of my speed burner on my rope gets him. When I'm on him with my Reata, it doesn't have that speed burner and it doesn't bother him. So that kind of bothers him. My chink fringe, that kind of bothers him a little bit. Just kind of maintain, and then when he lets down, I let down. Find the holes in your foundation. I have one of my clinics is called the Next Step Clinic, and that's where we take our foundation and the foundation that you prepared for you and your horses, and we take it to the next step. So we take the groundwork and we turn it into more riding work. We take leading by the leg and we turn it into transitions on the ground from the walk and the trot, and even from the canter to the trot. No matter where you are in your horses and yours journey, there's always the next step. There's always room for refinement. I've had people that have taken a number of Next Step clinics, and they comment that no Next Step clinic is the same. And they're absolutely right. They're not the same, because there is no end to refinement. Refinement is infinite. I can take my refinement and I will spend the rest of my life trying to refine it to be as smooth as possible. So in the name of refinement, I'm going to walk this guy forward, and I just want that the right front. Now see, when I had him on the ground, I said the first thing I do is I have him pack it around. Okay? So he packed this rope around on the ground. So now that he's under saddle and I'm sitting on top of him, I'm going to have him pack it around also, just so he gets used to it. Now like I said, if you guys get into an uncomfortable spot with your horses in this rope, just drop the dang thing. Bend your horse around and get off. I'm not trying to turn you guys into rootin' tootin' buckaroos. I'm not trying to even talk you guys into learning how to rope. But I'd like you guys to break out of your boxes, kick the walls of the box down, push your comfort zones, push your horse's comfort zones, and see how much you can do with your horses. How refined can you get? Can your horse pack that rope around? If you add tension to that rope and not the rein, will he stop? Okay? I'll drive him on. Now watch, I'm going to pick up on the white rope around his foot, and I'm going to drop my reins. And I'd love for him to stop. And he didn't freak out. So this is just another way to communicate with my horse, a more refined way or a different way to communicate with my horse. I want to be able to communicate with my horse in exponential amount of ways. I want to be able to communicate with him in so many ways that we're never not communicating. And down, loose rein, packing that rope, pick it up, and he stops. So how much refinement can you do with your horse? Build your foundations and then refine them. Don't get stuck in the foundation stages. Always drop back down to the foundation stages if you need to. But don't get stuck there. And don't get stuck in the refinement stages. If you start refining things, like this for instance, and say he bucked me off or he spooked and he kicked out next to me and just wasn't having anything to do with it, then I would certainly stop the refining and I would drop back down to the foundation, to the teaching stages. So that's some of the things that I do to kind of build upon the foundation that I built, some of the things that I covered in a lot of my clinics. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. Get outside, play with your horses, be safe, enjoy the weather and the fresh air, and I'll see you next time.